But I think there's a fair bit of anticipation from the fans regarding the amount of time we've been away from home with our games. Um, I think it's a little bit ridiculous that a club has as much time away from home, but that's the way it's been, and we've been all over the place in terms of away games. Catalan, London, as far as you can go in the Super League world, really, and it's great to be back and looking forward to it.
And you've had 2 weeks to build up for it. Are you feeling pretty confident about it? Has it been a decent build up? You understand they've been working pretty hard.
Yeah, worked really hard last 2 weeks, and training's gone exceptionally well. It's going to be a big challenge for us. Obviously, all of they've been winning consistently, and they've got a fair amount of quality players. So we know it's going to be a challenge. But we're at home. We've won his last 2 home games, so we feel like we've got a good platform at home. We know it's going to be a great atmosphere, and although it's a big challenge, I and the players feel like that if we're on our game, we're a pretty tough side to beat. And, we're still talking about improving our defence. That's got to be a primary focus, because we know we can score points. We've scored a significant amount of points in the last 4 games, enough to win games in each one of them. So if we can continue our ability with the ball and tighten up our defence, which hopefully I'll be able to stop talking about soon, then it'd be great for us. And like I say, everybody's looking forward to it. I think there's a great anticipation of playing back here because it has been so long.
Is it a boost that Gazzalis isn't playing, because their form seems to have picked up since he came to the team?
Well, I'm not too worried about them, to be honest. It's about us. I think after played against Leeds last week, and Jamie Peacock wasn't playing, but wasn't in the 19-man squad, but did so. I don't know, to be honest, whether he's going to be out there or not, and we'll turn up tomorrow, focus on ourselves, and just get on with the job, and hopefully we'll be where we need to be in terms of our attitude and commitment to defending our own line, which is, as I've said, has been a primary focus for the last 2 weeks.
On that defence, is it just sort of one-on-one errors, or is it players getting used to new systems and stuff? Is it something you can?
I've not changed too much, to be honest. I think we've worked hard defensively on a couple of different calls, and it's just been working more consistently on defence, I think. And we tend to, I think it's just individuals knocking off at different times, and we concede sloppy tries in our own 10-metre area, and we tend to score unbelievable tries and then concede sloppy ones. So if we maintain one and get rid of the other, then we'll be in with a shout.
Just on, I don't want to talk about Hull too much, but they could pretty much field a team of Castleford lads or ex-Castleford players. Does that, looking further ahead, does it frustrate you that so many Castleford lads are playing elsewhere, or does it encourage you knowing that there's so much talent in this area?
Oh, well, it's been a great breeding ground for a number of years now, and it's not been my job before, so I think a key part of my job moving forward is to make sure that we retain the young men that come through the Castleford's academy and progress to being first team players. So that is about creating the environment and making sure that they believe that this is a place where they can develop and realise the potential and the dreams, really. And that's obviously a work in progress, and it's something that we're working pretty hard on.
So the likes of Westerman and Arundel further down the line, you'd hope would stay at Castle?
Well, that's got to be the aim, hasn't it? You want to be able to retain your best quality young players that come through the system, and you've just mentioned a couple there who've moved on. There's no doubt that you're always going to lose some players. That's just the nature of sport. But really, we need to be striving hard to retain the better quality young people that come through our organisation, and have them playing in our first team, because you see the quality of those players that are out there who've come through Castleford's academy, and it's there's some significant quality there.
How much of retaining them is just an issue of money?
Well, there's some of that, but I think it's not all that. It's about what you can provide for them, and whether they feel wanted and valued at the place, whether they feel the environment is right for them, and they can grow and develop as players. and also the club is challenging for, particularly for playoff places. These clubs hasn't got the budget of Wigan or Leeds, teams that are winning grand finals and challenge cups. But it's not too long ago, a couple of years ago, Castleford were in the semi-final of the challenge cup and pretty close to going to the final. And with the right type of culture, this club's going to have players that are capable of doing those things and being in top eights. And once you get into top eight, well, there's an excitement that's generated that means you can achieve something pretty special. And that's, we need to get away from feeling like we're fighting hard to be off the bottom, and that we're fighting hard to be in the playoffs and to be in semi-finals. And I think that then gives players a belief that they're somewhere that they value. So that's got to be a primary focus, that players want to stay here and they want to achieve the potential to do that. You want to feel like you can win things.
Good to have Nathan Massey on board.
Yeah, well, he's one of those young lads who I've seen him play for a fair number of years now, and he's developed and grown, and I think he's got a lot of development still in him. He epitomises the spirit and toughness and togetherness that Castleford players should have. And so yeah, I was delighted to be able to offer him an extended contract, and I think he'll justify the faith that we've shown in him by constantly improving as a player.
Was that a deal that was kind of sorted out before you arrived, or have you had a big say?
No, it was in progress when I got here, and obviously obviously players being retained, it was handed over to myself, obviously, as head coach, and he was a player who I was really happy to retain. And I think, like I say, I just think he'll justify it in spades. I think he's a quality young man who's going to do a great job for the club.
Seems to have been around forever, but still only 23, so you think, what, possibly another 10 years?
Yeah, well, he's a middle unit player, and they tend to get better with age. He's got great footwork and durability as well. He's out there consistently from game to game, and I thought he was fantastic against Leeds last time out. He took Jamie Peacock on, and Peacock went charging to get another ball, because he'd sat him on his arse, and then he sat him on his arse again. So I thought it was great, because Peacock's what everybody aspires to be as a middle unit player. So I was delighted to see him do that.
And then more retentions?
Well, we're working through that. Yeah, that process at the moment, and the squads. There's quite a lot of the current squad that are already contracted. There's a few coming off contract that we're speaking to at the moment. So it's an ongoing process.
I think is it Jordan Thompson? I know Dave was talking about Hull kind of picking up a few players. He seems to have been linked with them. Is there anything in that? Do you know?
Well, he's Jordan hasn't signed the contract that was offered to him by the club. So take what you want from that. I don't know who he's signed for. Or whether he's signed for anybody else, but he's turned the contract offer down. So that's where it is at the moment, but I don't know who he's signed for.
And just ask what the situation with Gilmore and Mason is, because I haven't seen them for a few weeks. Are they both injured?
Yeah, Gilmore's got a shoulder problem that's still being evaluated at the moment. Some of it's involving different nerves that are being checked out. Mason's had an ankle injury. I left him out after the Catalan game, and he injured his ankle in the training the week after. So they're both injured. Mason had an illness earlier this week, so he would have been in contention, but because of that, he hasn't trained until today. So that's why he's not in the squad.